Okay, today on Jake on Food, we're going to be making XO sauce from scratch. I'm starting off with 6 ounces shrimp. Just going to slice all of these in half. And then I'm going to place them in a bowl with some salt. After this, we're going to slice up our scallops. Alright, we have all our shrimp. Remove any veins if you see them. Going to add our shrimp to our bowl. Like so. Alright, next we're going to slice our scallops. I'm going to take each scallop and slice it into about 4 thin pieces. Nice and thin, because we're going to put this on the dehydrator. Dry it out. Putting the scallops up on their side and slice them nice and thin. Alright, there we have our scallops. I'm going to add those to our bowl. Alright, so next we're going to add 4 teaspoons of salt to our scallops and shrimp. Mix that up so they're nice and coated evenly. Like so. Alright, so here's our next step. We're going to lay down a towel, nice and flat. And we're going to lay out our scallops and shrimp. Just one single layer. And on top of this, we'll place another towel. And then we're going to weight it. I'm going to use my heavy cutting board. Press that down for 3 hours before we go to the next step of putting them in the dehydrator. Just a nice single layer here. Spreading them out, making sure they don't overlap. Help press all the moisture right out of the seafood. Be able to get it nice and dry. Alright, there we go. Another towel. And this is a nice, good, heavy cutting board. You probably want at least 5 pounds of pressure. So we'll put that on top, and we'll leave that for 3 hours. Okay, so now it's been 3 hours. Pressing down our seafood. Take our weight off. Pull the towels back. Like so. Alright, next we're going to set up our dehydrator. Just going to line the tray with our seafood. We're going to dehydrate this at 160 degrees until everything's nice and dried. Probably about an hour and a half to 2 hours. Okay, now we have our trays all filled up with our shrimp and our scallops. We're going to set the dehydrator up. Crank that bad boy up to 160 degrees. Get it plugged in, and we'll let it go for an hour and a half to 2 hours. Alright, as you can see here, we have our seafood all dried. Just 2 hours on the dehydrator. Our next step is we're going to put it in some water and rehydrate it. Alright, so here's our next step. We're just going to take our dried seafood, the shrimp and our scallops, and we're going to rehydrate it in some cool water. Just peel them off, like so. Alright, now we're going to need to start working on the rest of our ingredients for our recipe while that rehydrates. I'm going to need a half cup of minced up ginger. So I'm just going to start by peeling my ginger. And we'll just start by slicing it nice and fine. And from there, little julienne. Slice it up nice and small until we have a half cup. Now there we have our half cup of minced ginger. Next I have a half cup of peeled garlic. We're going to mince that up as well. Start out a little bit at a time, slice it in little small thin slices. Proceed to chop it up. There we have it. We have our half cup of our minced garlic. So next I'm going to mince up some serrano chilies. We're going to want the seeds. Just going to want a little spicy. Slice a nice julienne. Just slice it nice and thin. And there we have it. We have our 2 serrano chilies all minced up and ready to go. Right, next for this recipe, I'm going to need 1 cup of ham. We're going to mince that up as well. In this case, I'm using some prosciutto. We're just again trying to slice this kind of thin. And we'll julienne it into strips and mince it down from there. Nice small pieces. Alright, here we have it completed. I have 1 cup of my minced up prosciutto, or you can use ham as well. Alright, I have a couple more ingredients here we're going to need for this recipe. I have 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of brown sugar, and 1 teaspoon of dried chili flakes. So we'll just begin by mincing up our scallops and our shrimp. XO sauce is a wonderful Chinese sauce, and there's nothing like making it yourself from scratch because it's fairly expensive and it's so good you want to use it on a number of things. Okay, now that we have our seafood all minced up, we're going to put it in the bowl. We're going to combine it with our garlic and our ginger. Ginger. Garlic, mix that all together. Okay, for this next step, you're going to want to start off on high heat. Get our burner going here. We're going to add a half cup of just the neutral flavored oil. Okay, so with our oil on high heat, we're going to add on our ham. We're going to brown that up, get it nice and crisp. Depending on how hot your oil is, it should take just about 3 to 4 minutes. You see it's starting to change color a little bit. I'm starting to smell a little of the aroma of the ham. And when it gets really, the bubbling is going to subside as you drive out more of that moisture and crisp up the ham. So you're starting to get a little fond on the edge of the pan. I wish you could smell it right now. It smells so good. I love prosciutto. It's getting really close. You can hear it sizzling and popping. Getting nice and crispy. Alright, so at this point I'm going to add in my chili flakes, the Serrano chilies, just a quick 2 to 3 minutes. Probably not even that, as hot as this oil is. I'm going to turn this down to low heat. Next we're going to add in our mixture of our shrimp, our scallops, our garlic, and our ginger. And this we're going to put on very low heat. We're going to stir this every once in a while. It can take up to 45 minutes until it becomes a nice pale golden brown color. Okay, it's been about 30 minutes. As you can see, it's starting to change color a little bit. Alright, as you can see, we're slowly cooking it down, removing some of the moisture, getting some color. Now I'm going to add my soy sauce, my brown sugar, I'm going to cook that down, cook some of that moisture out. Check the flavor. Oh, that's so yummy, so good. There you have it. Welcome back to Jake on Food, my cooking TV channel here on YouTube. And this is my finished homemade XO sauce. Thank you very much.